What are we doing? We're counting on this tool. This is a counting tool. This is a math tool. This math tool is going to help us learn how to add, subtract, multiply, divide. So the first thing we're going to do is understand that this is a counting tool. This is a math manipulative. It is a forgotten tool, the forgotten tool. Okay, so this forgotten tool is going to help us with counting. When we count, we do 1, 2, 3, 4. What? What are we doing? Why are we doing this? We're doing this because it's cool. So what are we doing? What we're doing is we're learning how to count. We are learning how to count, and we do 1. This is 4. And then when we look, this is 5. That is 5. That will always be 5 no matter what. Why? That's just the way it is. The top bead will be 5. Now you might be wondering, why am I here? I am here because I have this dot indicator. This dot indicator tells me that this is my ones place. When I line it up, every column is a place value. So here is my place value. This is my ones, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, my 10,000. Now when we look, we're going to be counting 5. That is 5. 5 is always going to be the top bead. 5 is the top bead. Now, when we have 6, the 6 is going to be the bottom bead, 1 bottom bead. So if I was to relate it to money, you'll notice that if I have 1 bead, it will be equal to 1 penny. This is a penny. This is worth 1 cent. Now, if I did 2, this would be 2 cents, right? This is 2 cents. Well, actually, this would be 2 cents. Well, okay, never mind. This is 2. So why do we do 2? Because it's counting. It's because it's in contact with the horizontal bar. Because it's in contact with the horizontal bar, this is 2. Now, when I have this and I add the 5, that's like adding a nickel. So that is what? That is now 7. So when we look, why are we using money? I'm trying to relate abacus to counting. And so I'm trying to show how easy it is to understand. But sometimes it's nice to have a visual, like what it means. So if I have 1, I have 5. 5. This is 5. This is 6. This is 7. Together, that's 7. Now when I add one more, right? If I have 3, I have 3 pennies, right? The thing is what? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And if I add the 5, which is a nickel, or the 5 cents, when I add 5, now I have 8. I hope that makes sense. I'm hoping this makes sense. I'm trying something different. If I have 4 pennies, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I have 4 pennies, I have 4 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 beads. Now, when I add the 5, which is this nickel is worth 5, right? It's the same thing as doing that. That is 5. So now our final answer is 9. When we look, we have our ones or tens or hundreds or thousands or 10,000. When we do 10, right? 10 looks like this. That's what 10 looks like. What does 10 look like? 10 looks like that. That's my dime. That's my dime. All right. So, how are we doing? Does everybody understand? So, what we're doing is we're trying to learn how to read the abacus. When we learn how to read the abacus, then we're going to go into understanding how to what? How to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you so much for the hearts. Let me know if you have any questions. So, the first thing we're doing is we're learning how to read the abacus, if that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions. Ooh, yeah. So that's what it is. This is the abacus. The abacus is a counting tool. This counting tool, we're going to start counting. And you might be wondering, well, why am I here? Why do I count here? Well, I count there because I have my ones indicator. I don't know if you can see that, but there's this little speck. There's a speck. This dot right here. This tells me that this is going to be the ones place. I could choose this like a Pokemon, but I choose this one like Charizard. Somebody said Charizard is better than Pokemon. No, Pokemon. Pikachu. So if you like Charizard, then I go here, right? The reason why is because then I have all these numbers to be my large numbers, right? My ones, tens, hundred thousands, 10,000, and then I have a decimal. The decimal sits between the ones and the tenths. So my ones and the tenths, and then the hundreds. Now, when we see it, right? If I choose this one, right? You have to choose one. Oh, cool numbers. Oh, cool numbers. Huh? Okay, time to focus. Ah, Raven. Oh, Raven, 6, 7. So 6, that's 60, and then this is 7. How do I know? Because I have 5, right? 5, 6, 7. That's what 7 looks like. 5, 6, 7, and then we have 6, 5, 6. Just so you know, because you've made a comment, I can focus on your username. So what does that make sense? So then when we do another 6, I think your other number was 6, right? Yeah, this is all math. I'm just letting you know. You're voluntarily being in the room. You're being in the room with like voluntarily learning math. So, just so you know, this is what 67 looks like. Just saying. All right. So here, so what we're going to do is we're going to count on the abacus. This is the ones, the tens, the hundreds, the thousands, the 10,000. Just as how we write. When we write, let's say we write, I don't know, let's say 2025. That's the year, right? That's the year that we're in. So we do 2025. 2025. Does that make sense? The top bead will always be 5. So that's why I show that there's this nickel here. The top bead will always be 5 no matter what. The top bead or the blue bead will always be 5. When we have 5 and then we have 6, then that is 6, 5, 6. Now these bottom beads have a value of 1. Math wasn't my best part. Oh, I'm going to show you some new tricks. New tricks, Raven. New tricks. I've been told that, and I've been told that this blows their mind away. So, the first thing we're going to do, because you're the only one commenting, and I'm hoping that I can answer all of your questions, let me know if you have any questions at all. And what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to add and subtract. That's why I'm trying to focus on what you're trying to show. So, does that make sense when I have my 2025? Does that make sense? If it doesn't, let me know. So what we're doing is we're using this horizontal bar. This horizontal bar is what tracks our numbers. Because it tracks our numbers, we know that this is 2, this is 5. Now, when we look at it individually, this is 5, right? This is 5. And then this is 2. And then when we put it together, it's 25. Right? Just like how we read it, just like how we read and write on the, just like how we write our numbers. That's how we write on the abacus. It's a little bit disconcerting just because we're not used to reading the abacus. So what we're doing is we're going to learn how to read the abacus first. Oh, you know what we should try to do? Let's do a maze. How about that? Maybe that will help. Maybe that will help. Okay, so we've done a little bit of the preview, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of this thing. This is a maze that I've created, and this maze is just to do bead recognition, just to see what these numbers are, right? So so this is the maze. Hello, Anne. Thank you for joining. We're going to start from here. When we start here, we're going to figure out what number this is. And when we figure out what number it is, it will tell us what path we're going, right? So let's do the first one together. This is 5, right? We know that this is 5. So when I show you, this is 5, right? That's 50. And then we're 2. That's 2. Wow. Okay, right? 52. Thank you, Connor. Thank you. Does that make sense? So now what we're going to do is we're going to follow the path and we go to 52. All right. So let's do the next number. Let's do the next number. I'm going to hide it now, right? I'm going to hide the answers. And now if I show you this, what number do you think that is? If I have this and then I do this. So I have 1 here. This will be my tenths. And then this is 5, 6, 7. What number do we think that is? 17. Thank you, Connor. Yes. Are you okay, Raven? So this is 17. So we're going to go up to here and then we'll do 17. So now we have this number. We have this number and then that. What number do we think that is? So what we're doing is we're doing some bead recognition. Yeah, 28. Thank you. Hold on. Oh, you're cooking. No wonder. No wonder. Well, I'm happy Connor's able to explain, able to take up for the team, right? This is 28. Thank you, Connor. So what we're going to do here is that. So what number do we think this is? If I have my ones, and so I'm going to show you my ones, my tens, my hundreds, right? And I have a place value for each of them. When I have a place value for each of them, my ones, my tens, my hundreds, my thousands, my 10,000. Right now, we're only doing 2-digit. Thank you, Connor, for commenting. So when we do the 2-digit, right, I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's my turn to cook, and it's Spady, so hopefully I won't burn the food like always. Ah. And then there's the 5. 95. Yes, thank you, Connor. It is 95. It is not 105. The reason why is because 105 is 3 digits, just so you know. So if I wanted to, so to show you what what we did is that's 95, but 105 is 105. That is what that then it's now it's going to be a 3 digit. But right now we're only working on 2 digit. There are only 9 beads. Exactly, Connor. Yes, there are only 9 beads. So when you look, okay, before we go forward, when you look, we can do 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. All of these are 9. These are all 9. When they're all 9, that's it. Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, yeah. Good, good, good. So when we look, right, this would be 99,999.99. So the decimal sits between the ones and the tenths, if that makes sense. So the decimal sits here because why? Because I chose this to be my ones place. There's a little dot there. I chose this to be my ones place. If you choose this to be your ones place, right, this dot, then you will not have enough room because there's no hundreds, right? There's no hundreds column. So that's why I chose this one to be my ones. So what is our number now? What number do we think this is? We have our 1. We do what? We have 1, and then we have 5, right? 15. Thank you, Connor. So we have 15, and then we're going to go. Okay, so we're going to do one more, and then we're going to start learning how to move the beads. Is that all right? Or do we want to continue on with the maze? It is up to you, since you're the only one commenting. I think you're the only one in the room. So it's up to you. We can continue with the whole maze. Oh, yeah. That's what that is. 19. We can continue on with the maze, or we can go on to learning how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. It is up to you, since you're the only one commenting. 19, and then we have that. Yeah, I'm thinking of, yeah. Oh, hey, I'm watching. Hey, Coop. I'm thinking I'm getting it. Okay, let's do a little review. Let's do a review. When we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Every bottom bead has a value of 1, just like these pennies. Pennies is worth 1. Because it's worth 1, right, we have 4 pennies. That's what 4 looks like. Now, when we add the 5, right, that's the 5. That means it would be like a nickel, right? It would be 5 cents. Add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Okay, let's do it. So this is 5. Okay. Now when we have the bottom bead, now we have 6. When we have the second one, now we have 7, right? We have 3 on the bottom, now we have 8. Wait, so what's the largest number it goes to? On this specific abacus, we have 9, right? That's 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. On this specific abacus, it's only 99999. Right? So if I did this, that's the highest number we have. Why? Because that's the amount of columns I have. If you want to do more, right? Thank you, Connor. Yes, 99,999. However, this is only a 7-column abacus. We do have a 13-column abacus. In the 13-column abacus, if I chose this one to be my ones place, then I have my ones, my thousands, my millions, my billions, my trillions. So then trillion, it'll be 9 trillion, and so forth, right? All of these that would be the largest number. Okay, so we have trillion. But if we want to track the national debt, then we would use the 23-column abacus. And it works exactly the same, just has more numbers. It just has more digits. That's all it is. This is made out of bamboo. These ones are made out of plastic. They work exactly the same. However, what? They work exactly the same, except one's plastic and one is bamboo. Now, if you notice, they're very easy to move. They're very easy and very and so when we're moving it, move it gentle. What does that mean? Well, if you notice, you don't want to be aggressive when you move it, right? Because we just don't want to be aggressive. Why do we want to be aggressive? We don't need to be aggressive. When we move it, we want to be gentle. So, and you notice that when I move the beads, it's always going to be the edges of the beads, right? That's how we're going to move it. The reason why is because there's been some people that complain that it's very difficult. And I'm like, it's not difficult. Thank you so much for liking the live. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to notice that we're going to be happy when we do math. Happy when you're math, do some abacus. So what happens is we're just going to be utilizing the edges. So no matter how big and burly your hands are, you should be able to move it and be gentle. Be gentle. Be gentle. And notice it's very easy. It's like a little rattle. So if you bump it, your answer is going to be wrong. So you use your left hand to stabilize it, just so you know. Just so you know, all right? Very easy. So, and that's the other thing. Like if I have this and I did that, what happens? Don't flick hard because then you won't get the right answer, just so you know. So don't flick too hard because your answer is going to get wrong. So that's a little bit about moving the abacus. Are we all right? How are we doing? Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? You could use it as a massager. You could use it as a skateboard. You could use it as a skateboard. You could use it as a car. But I use it as a counting tool. This is my counting tool. And we're going to go into adding and subtracting, multiplication, division. Anybody have any questions? Brock, Connor, Coop, Tay? Was it Tay? Tay? Do you have any questions? If not, I'm going to move on to adding and subtracting. Nope. Okay. Cool. Cool. Sounds like we're happy. No questions? Please. There's no questions? Okay. Okay. I guess I'm better at it than I thought I am. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to understand how to move the beads. Now, what does that mean? Well, in Abacus world, what we're going to do is we're going to understand that we need to focus on the add-in. What is an add-in? Just in case we don't know what an add-in is, it means the number that we are adding. Okay, so in this preschool book, what we just did is we did number recognition. This is number recognition, B recognition, so forth. Like, how does the numbers relate to the number? That's all of that is. And so this is just activities. These are just activities. Um, More activities are like how to relate the numbers and stuff, like counting forward, counting backwards, and so forth. Okay, this is bigger than and smaller than. Okay, let me go to the adding and subtracting. The first thing we're going to do is understand that we're going to look at our add-ins, right? When we look at our add-ins, that's what we do in Abacus World. We don't focus on the result. The reason why is because we actually get more add-ins, and you won't be able to know what the result is, which is interesting in mainstream math that they always focus on the result. So what we're doing here is we're doing 7, right? We have 7. We want to add the 1. When we add the 1, we're only going to move the 1 bead. This is actually pretty interesting. Thank you, Coop. I'm happy. You're voluntarily learning math. So what we're doing is we're learning how to move the beads. When we learn how to move the beads, we're just moving the 1 bead. That's what we're doing. We're adding the 1 bead, right? So the question is if I have 6, I'm adding 6. When I have 6 and my number is 1, do I have enough? Can I do it? Yep, I can because I have the 1 bead. So this is what we're doing is we're understanding how to move the beads. When we look, now we have 2. We have 5, we get the 5, and then we want to have 2. Do we have enough? Yes, we can. So we're going to add the 2 beads, 1, 2, and then my final answer is 7. Does that make sense? So what we're doing is we're just learning how to move the beads. We're going one number at a time because they are very different, right? This number is very different. If I have 4 and I want to take away 3, I'm going to remove the 3 beads. If I have 2, or if I have 3 and I want to take away 3, I'm going to remove the 3 beads. So notice when you add, you go to the horizontal bar. When you subtract, you go away from the horizontal bar. So now we know how to balance it out. We know if we know one way, we know the other way. So when we look at it, we have 4. We're going to add 4. When we decide to remove the 4 minus the 4, we're going to take it away. If the add in the bigger than 10, you can't do it. That's correct. But then there's formulas. How am I supposed to sort them into stacks? How do I move a blue bead from one to another? We don't move the beads because they have columns. So we need to understand how to read it. So if this is what we're doing, the stacks is 5. This is 5. This is not 5. This is 50. 55. That's what this number is. The number that we see is the number that we would read, if that makes sense. There is no taking this out and putting it somewhere else. So this is not the individual blocks. This is the beads themselves, if that makes sense. So Connor, we're going to put a pin in that and I'll show you what happens when there's not enough, but that's a very good question. So the first thing we're going to do is understand that when I want to add the 6, I bring it together like this. When I subtract the 6, I want to take it apart like this. Does that make sense? So when we're adding and we're subtracting, that's what we're going to do. And again, these are all activities that to strengthen the idea. So Minus, we know how to minus. We're minusing the 1. When we minus the 1, remember, it is the add-in that we're taking away. So if I have 3 and I want to take away 1, I'm going to take away the 1, right? Okay. So we did that. We did -2. We did -3. And now we did the 5. Adding the 5 is always the top beat. The top beat will always be 5. And so when I have the 5 and I want to add the 1, again, I'm going to do, is there enough? Yeah, there is enough. And so what's happened next? We have the 6, 7, and 8, right? There's not a lot of questions with 8. So it's either 0 plus 8 or 1 plus 8 will give you 9. Cool. And then again, when we add it, we need to subtract. So when we subtract, 5 will be opposite. We add to the horizontal bar, we come down. When we want to subtract the 5, we want to take it away like that. We want to move it away from the horizontal bar. We're pushing it up. Okay, so we're coming very close to understanding, well, what happens when there's not enough? Well, before I continue, I'm going to do one more. So this is 8. When we subtract the 8, we want to move it apart like that. Okay, we understand how to add and subtract. Okay, that's what we know. We now know how to do. We know how to move the beats. That's great. Connor had the question: what happens when there's not enough? What happens when there's not enough? Well, we're teaching the kids. I got it. If you add more than 9, you have to move to the and. I'm sorry. I got it. So you can add more than 9, you move to collect before. You kind of. So there's two things that we need to understand, Connor. The first thing we need to understand is these things that are these number sentences, these addition sentences. These addition sentences is a concept that we're column. So is is that considered regrouping? This is kind of regrouping. Regrouping is more, yeah, it's kind of regrouping. Plus the 10 minus the 10 is more regrouping, but that's later. The first thing we have to do is we have to understand how to add the 5. Why are we going to add the 5? Because if you notice, when I have the 4 and I add another 4, we don't memorize doubles. That's the one thing we don't need to memorize. We do not need to memorize doubles. What we need to understand is this formula. This is a formula. This is a number sentence, right? This number sentence is going to help us. This is a basic concept, which is interesting because I don't know why they're teaching this in school. Does anybody know why we're teaching how to make a 5 in school? Let me know. I know why we do it in abacus, and it's the greatest thing next to sliced bread. But in logical reason, why are we teaching it in school? So here's the question, right? Here's the question. We want to add the 4, we have the 4, right? And notice there's not enough beats to add the 4. I need to add another 4. Well, we have this concept. Let me go back. We have this concept. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. How is that going to help us? It's going to help us because we're going to utilize this 5. This 5 is going to be our magic something. Why? Because when we want to isolate the variable, we're going to isolate the 4. Notice when I isolate the 4 and it equals to 5, it is not balanced. Now, when we balance it, what do? We have to minus the 1. What? What we just got is directions. We got directions how to add the 4 with the abacus. Plus the 5 minus the 1. So I'm going to plus the 5 and I'm going to take away the 1. So my final answer is 8. It's not really regrouping. It's trading. I think it'd be more trading. I'm trying to think. So here's another way of looking at it, right? Another way of looking at it is that if I have 4 pennies, right? I have 4 pennies. Just like this. I have 4 pennies. And then I need to add 4, but I only have a nickel. Oh, you get it? Oh, good. Yeah, see, I don't think it's called regrouping. I think it's like trading. What do you think, Tay? So here, this is my 5. I only have 5. But it's only worth 4. So I'm going to give you my 5, but you need to give me back change. So my final answer is 8. So what we just did is we didn't memorize, right? It's trading. Yeah, I think it's more trading. So what we did is we did not memorize what 4 plus 4 is. We don't need to memorize what 4. We know the versatility of adding the 4. Again, this is why we need to understand the add-in. So when we add the 3, we know what are we doing? We're adding the 3, right? And then we have a 4. When we have the 4, we know this concept. Now we can do it again. Plus the 4 is equal to plus the 5 minus the 1. So plus the 4, right? I want to add the 4. What do? What's another way to do it? Another way to do it is plus the 5 minus the 1. So my final answer is 7. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions? This is the quietest class I've ever had. We'll do it again. Let's do it again. To show you the versatility of the number 4. No questions? Oh my goodness. This is way too easy. So if I have 2 and I'm adding the 4, what I'm going to do? I have 2. I only have a nickel. I'm really poor. I only have a nickel, right? So if it's worth 4 cents, then I'll give you the nickel. You have to give me back 1. I give you a nickel and I take away 1. So my final answer is 6. All right. Okay, so we know how to do it with the adding of the 2. We know how to do it with the 4. Now notice we have these ones to do as well. So if you look, we can do it for 3 and 2 and 2 and 3. So it's the same thing. Why are we going to do that? It's when we get into these questions. These questions is when we don't have enough. So when we look, we have 4. We have 4 and we want to add the 3. To add the 3, what do we do? What do you think we do when we add the 3? We have our concept. Looks very familiar. How long will you be streaming? I'm probably another half hour, maybe. But I stream for a while and I stream daily. But this week is off because I'm going to go to science camp. So we want to add the 3. When we add the 3, we're going to isolate it. When we do 3 is equal to 5, again, this is not balanced. So we need to minus the 2. When we minus the 2, now we're given directions. We're given directions how to use the abacus. All we need to do is add the 5 and take away the 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the 5 and take away the 2. So what we see here is a number pattern. When we want to add the 3, this is what we're going to do, right? If we want to take away the 3, now we know the opposite. We add 3, we take away the 3. And this is how I would do it. So this is what I have instructions over here. When I want to have a 4 and I want to add the 3, I'm going to substitute this information from 5 plus the 5 minus the 2 into the 3. So that's what I did, plus the 5 minus the 2. I guess those back again, time to learn with all my hey, balls. I'm sorry, I didn't read the name. Yeah. Oh, just so you know, balls, I just want to let you know I'm going to be off this week. I'm going to go to science camp. So I'm not going to be on. I won't be back until maybe Friday, maybe Saturday. Just so you know. Yeah. Ah! I just want to let you know, you guys will be in my thoughts, but I'm going to be chaperoning science camp for my kid. So he's in 6th grade, and so I volunteer to chaperone. So just so you know, I'm going to put it in my story every day. I'll put it in my story saying, sounds fun. It's okay. It's a lot of hiking and, get the kids out and same. Oh, um, yeah, so I'll put it in my story that I won't be here, but just so you guys know. And then if you see me on YouTube, that's all pre-recorded. So you can ask, but I won't be able to answer anything. All right. So okay, so we've done this, makes sense, right? And then we can do it again for the 3. When we add the 3, we want to add another 3, we know, plus the 5 minus the 2. We want to plus the 5 and we want to take away the 2. So my final answer is 6. Hey, Blue Raptor, welcome back. Okay, Tay, any questions? Connor? Bueller? Balls? What's going on? How are we doing? Are we ready for this or do we want to go further? We can keep going. I mean, if it's just you guys, we can go all the way to multiplication and division. I know a lot of people are waiting for division. But if it's just you guys, we can go for it. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tay. Let me know. Okay, so we understand how to add. Oh, that's right. We understand how to add. We understand to subtract. Okay, so we understand that how to add the 5, right? Okay, what happens? Okay, the reason why I want to make sure that you're okay is because we have steps, but people that are coming in, they've been with me for a little bit, so I'll jump ahead. So but I don't want to jump ahead and lose you. So the first thing I'm going to do is understand, okay, we know how to add the 5. Okay, we understand how to add the 5. What's next? Well, what's next is how do we make a 10? Okay, we know how to add the 5, we know how to take away the 5. That's not a problem. Now we're going to do is we're going to understand how to make a 10. When we make a 10, these are the pairs. These are always going to be the pairs of these 10 no matter what. No matter how you see it, these will always be the pair. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a question, because it's always nice to see an actual question, right? And I like to do 8, because 8 is not, it's just different numbers. I like the different numbers. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do 9. When we look, we have 9. Now, this is 9. We need to add 8. We don't have enough beads to add 8. Hey, Ash, happy Sunday. Oh, just so you know, I'm going to be not here this whole week, because I'm going to go to science camp, just so you know. I'll be back maybe Friday, maybe Saturday. I'll put it in my story, but I wanted to let you know and make sure that if there isn't too many people last class, we left off with 3 digits times 3 digits. Okay, yeah. So let me continue on, and because I want to keep Tay up to speed. Oh my gosh, science camp. Oh, that's cool. I appreciate you letting me know. Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't. You know what? I appreciate everybody coming back. So I feel bad that if I'm not here, I feel bad, and I don't want you guys to be worried. So yes, I will be back next week, but it's a week long. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do is we notice that we want to add the 8. Again, we're looking at the add-in. When we look at the add-in, that's why we need to look at the add-in. When we look at the add-in, this is our addition sentence. We have 8. We're going to isolate the 8. When we isolate the 8, we want to plus the 10. But this again is not balance. So we're going to minus the 2. Why are we doing that? The reason why we're going to do it is, remember when I said 10, how I made 10? I did 0 and 1. That's how we did 10. 0, 1. That's how we did 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to plus the 10. That just means we're going to add the 1 over here, right? So if I have 9, I'm going to add 8. Add 8 is plus the 10 minus the 2. Plus the 10, and I take away the 2, right? Because again, we have this concept. It compounds on the same concept of adding the 5 and taking away the 5. Do you see that, Tay? So when we look, we can do it again. We do 4, right? We have 4. And I want to add the 8. Again, remember, it's the add-in that we're focusing on, because we have the focus, right? It makes sense. So we're compounding this information, and also we're practicing this concept. So what we're going to do is we're going to plus the 10 minus the 2. That's it. So again, when we add the 8, we can minus the 8. So we have minus the 10 plus the 2, right? So it's a very versatile concept, and that's it. That's everything about adding. Now, what we do is we have to Tetris our way through. We have to do two-step. So what happens with the two-step? The two-step, right? Okay, good. Tay, you're really catching on. That's fantastic. Okay. So what are we going to do? We're going to do, okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Um, I guess I won't be on as long as I can. I'll do a few more, and then I'm gonna head to dinner. All right. So before we continue, let me do two step. This is the way. This is the way, Carne Con. Yes. Oh, I got a new one. Did you hear this one? Did you see that one? Did you hear that one? That was funny. I like that one. All right. No, that's sweet. Yeah. I love my. I didn't realize that I can upload my own sound bits, so I was trying to find some other sound bits. All right, so Tay, we're gonna do this thing called 7. Okay, why are we gonna do this? The reason why this is the final step. I love this way. That one is more catchy. There's the other one, right? I have this one. It seems a little long, but I do like this one too. I like this one. Okay. Now, why are we doing this one? Well, we got to do this one because it's called a two-step equation. Why is it a two-step equation? Let me show you. But wait, there's more. We know 7. We're going to add the 7. When we add another 7, we know how to add another 7. When we add another 7, we need to plus the 10 minus the 3, right? We need to plus the 10 minus the 3. So I'm going to rewrite that. I'm going to say, okay, plus the 7 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 3. So I'm going to plus the 10, and I need to take away the 3. Oh, look, can I put the link in the chat for a friend who's running the People's Magazine? Yeah, she just left out domestic violence. I believe the prize is a vacation. I'm sorry. You can try, but I don't know if anybody can do it. It gets along for being the cover of People's Magazine. Oh, good luck. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you for letting me know. Go ahead. Okay, so Tay, I hope you're still here. What we're going to do is we're going to take away the 3. When we take away the 3, what are we going to do? When we take away the 3, there's not enough to take away the 3. Yeah, not a problem, boss. Thank you. You know what? It's because you invested. Okay, good, Tay, you're still here. Because we have a relationship and now I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some people, when they ask too early, but you've been here for so long. You know what I mean? Thank you, balls. Okay. So does that make sense, Tay? We're going to take away the 3. There's not enough beats to take away the 3. So what do? Right? We have to take away the 3. Remember, when we take away the 3, we understand we're going to minus the 5 plus the 2. Does that make sense? So we're going to, when we minus the 3, we're going to equal minus the 5 plus the 2. So we minus the 5 and we add the 2. So my final answer is 14. Does that make sense? So this is called a two-step equation. The reason why, because is this. This is what we consider two-step, because we did the first step, right? And then we had to do the second step. That's what that means. That's what the two-step means. Yeah? One more. I think I'll catch on. Okay, good. Okay, you know what? Here's another one. Here's a good one that my a parent was like, "Isn't it the same?" So here, 8 plus 5, right? We do 8 plus 5. Isn't it the same as 5 plus 8? No. So why? Here, let's show you. This is 8, right? We add 8, we have the 5. Plus the 5, we know is plus the 10 minus the 5, right? We know that this is the formula, right? We just modified it. So what does we do? We plus the 5 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 5. Plus the 10, take away the 5. So my final answer is 13. So again, what we're doing is we're not focusing on the destination. Thank you, balls. So what's going to happen is we have 5. We're going to add the 5. Now we need to add the 8. Woo, woo. Explain it with the 5 cents and the pennies. 5 cents and the pennies. If we have 8, I don't have another nickel. I don't have another nickel. Oh no, I do. No, no, no. I got it. Where's my dime? I gotta find my dime. I don't have my dime. I have to find my dime. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So there it is. Okay, got it. So I have 8. I have 8 on my abacus. Right? I have 8 money. It's stapled to my mind earlier. I'm gonna add 5, right? But I only have a dime. A dime is worth 10 cents. I'm not sure where everybody is, but I want to let you know a dime is worth 10 cents. This is 10 cents. I'm going to give you a dime. I'm going to give you 10 cents. I'm going to give you 10 cents, but that's too much. So what am I going to do? I got to take back 5 cents. Whoa, that was the wrong one. 3? What? Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. 3. So I got to take back 5 cents because it's only worth 5 cents. So I got to take back 5 cents. So my final answer is 13 cents. Does that make sense? Right? Okay. So what's the next one? The next one is 5. We have 5 and we have 5, right? Okay, great. Okay, great. So I don't know if I'm trying to play on words if that makes sense. Right, visuals have. Oh, good. So we have 5, right? We have 5. We add another 5. We're going to add 10. We're going to add 10 cents. But we need only 8. The problem is what? I only have 10 cents. I'm going to give you 10 cents, but this is too much. What do we have to do? Now we got to break it up. Minus the 5 plus the 2. You have to give me this 5, but I got to trade you back. This is more complicated. It's more complicated with the money. I'm going to give you back 2 and I'm going to take away the 5. No, that's not right. 3. Got to do 3. Yeah, take away the 3, add the 3. Yes. Take away the 5, add the 3. Because what is it here? Oh, right here, right here. Because it's 8 is equal to plus the 10 minus the 2. Cannot minus the 2, right? I cannot minus the 2. So this minus the 2, this is one step. This is one step. Now we got to do the next step. The next step is minus the 2. Minus the 2 is equal to minus the 5 plus the 3. Minus the 5 plus the 3. So my final answer, if you had more pennies. No, actually, it is not if I have more pennies, because it is exactly what it is. If I have 5, but the problem is this is too much. I think it's harder because we have to break this one up. Okay. Okay. So that's what we call two-step equation. And thank you so much for liking the live. I've only been on for 40 minutes. I gotta go. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Um, we'll do one more. So one more, which is the multiplication before I go. Yeah? That helps last time for some reason. It helped a bit. It's a little more confusing. You know why it's more confusing is because the two-step is confusing. That's why it's confusing. Because if I had the 5, right? I'm going to add this, but I only have 10 cents. But I can't. So I got to break this up. That's what it is. I got to break it up. And to break this up, I got to have one more penny. Yeah. I think that's what it is. All right. Okay. I'll do one more question and I'm going to head out before the husband gets mad. Cuz he's like, "You're on too much. You're on live too much." Okay. Are we ready for this one? 30. Let me see if I can find a better question. I'll probably be on. You know what? Because it's a early night right now. I'll come on live later tonight because I'm not that tired. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Okay. 3 digits. I appreciate. Oh no, thank you, Tay, for commenting. I appreciate that you're here. I'm happy that you're here and you're able to understand. I should still be awake. Okay, yeah, I'm hoping so. I think if you're on the East Coast, it's 10 o'clock for you right now. Give me about a couple of hours, and we'll do midnight mass. Okay, so let's do one more thing. Let's do 3 digits. You said you wanted 3 digits. Can we do this one? Let's do what are we doing? 472 times that by 320. Is that what you want to do? Yes, thank you. At my age, still learning. Is that what we want to do? Is 5 digit? This is 5 digit. Or do you want to do 3 digits, which is what? 47 times that by 8? Is that what we're doing? 47 times 8? Or are we doing 5 digits? Oh, no, you said 3 digits times 3 digits. So we'll do 6. Okay. Okay, last question. Okay, we'll do 3 digits times 3 digits. It's the same. It's exactly the same. I just heard the husband yell at my kid. Coming! All right. Let me focus. Okay, here we go. We're going to be doing. Can you divide using the abacus? We can divide the abacus. Yes, we can divide on the abacus. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is clean up my desk. Now the reason why I'm using the bigger one is because I have 6 digits. One, two, three, four, five, 6, right? So because this one only can do 5. So that's why I got to change it to this one. This is why if the abacus is for you, I would recommend doing the 13 column one. The only reason why is because then you have bigger numbers. So we're going to do 6. How do we know? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to go here. When we do that, right, we do 4 times 3. It takes forever for us to get to division, but it will eventually get there. Yeah, usually we usually get to division like late at night because there's not a lot of people and there's usually the regulars that come on later at night. So yeah. Okay. That's not what I want. Okay, so 4 times 3 is equal to 12. I add 1, I add 2. 7 times 3 is equal to 21. I add 2, I add 1. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 is a single digit. I go back one column, I add the 6. We're done. That's it. So we started at 6, now we go to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're over here. Right? 4 times 2 is equal to 8. 8 is a single digit. I go back one column, I add the 8. 7 times 2 is 14. I add 1, I add 4. Hey, Connor, welcome back. We're doing multiplication, but this is a little hairy. Why? Because we need to add the 1. We need to add the 1 here. How do we add 1? Do we remember? Now this is where we're going to start flexing our skills. We need to add the 1. Do you remember? Plus the 1 is equal to minus the 9 plus the 10. I'm going to minus the 9. I need to add the 10. Can I add 1 here? No. What's another way to add 1? Add 1 is minus the 4 plus the 5. Minus the 4 plus the 5. Now I need to add the 4. Hey, Kaylor! Welcome back. I'm actually on my last question. I was going to head out to dinner. So this one is add the 4, right? Plus 4 is equal to plus the 10 minus 6. Plus the 10 minus the 6. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 is a single digit. I go back one column and I add the 4. Oh, just so you know, I will be out in science camp next week. So I'll be back either Friday or Saturday. Just so you know. Just so you guys know, I will be out. So we're done with the 2. We're going to go to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 times 4 6 times 4 is 24. Add the 2, add the 4. 6 times 7 is 42. Add the 4, add the 2. Add the 4, plus 4 is equal to plus 5 minus 1. Plus the 5 minus 1. Add the 2. Plus 5 minus 3. Plus the 5 minus the 3. And then our final one is 6 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Add the 1, add the 2. I'll miss your daily lives, but time will go fast. Yeah, time will go fast. Time will go very fast. So that's my answer. 1, okay. Answer is 1, 5, 3, 8, 7, 2. It's better to go fast. I'm not done learning. Yeah. Yeah, it'll go fast. It's only a week. So exactly what we've done. The thing is doing multiplication, no matter how big the numbers are, it doesn't matter how big the numbers are. It's the same process over and over again. The only thing is you just need to keep track of where your numbers are, right? That's why I write it all out, because then I can always go back if I forget. Oh, I don't even know if that's the right answer. Ooh, last call. Okay. 126. 13582. Yeah. Yep, that's the right answer. 1 153,872. But again, right? It's all of this stuff that we need to remember. We need to really remember how to make a 5 and how to make a 10. And then they all just compound each other. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll be on in a little bit. I got to go eat dinner. I got to go eat dinner too. I'll see you. Yeah, before my husband starts to yell at me. Get it down. Okay, yeah. I'll see you later. Have thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining. I'll see you guys in my next live. Okay, bye. I'll see you in a couple of hours. Bye. Okay.